Hello, everyone.
We're going to do a little introductions, and let's start with Mark. Why don't you give MVC a little introduction to us?
Okay, yeah, hopefully it's very short. Cyrator, I think we're maybe the only really decentralized crypto ratings platform. We created a lot of different protocols to make sure that the ratings are trustworthy, accountable, transparent. And over the last several months, we've reviewed a lot of projects together, found some really great projects, had some great AMAs, and really go in depth with projects and figure out the fundamentals. And we try to show people which are the projects that have strong fundamentals, strong teams, and are really building solutions for crypto versus the ones that are not, right? Which we want to show those are not. So I think that's why our team was really excited about your project, but some information are a bit murky and a little bit difficult to understand. So that's why everyone here, I think, is very interested to ask you a bunch of questions.
Yes, thank you so much for the interest. We are ready to answer as much as questions that you guys have. We feel you guys have heard about our projects because we can see from your questions, you guys have a deep research in us. Before you ask a question, we love it. Yes, feel free to ask us a question. Yes, let's start.
All right. Okay, we'll get started. I get my background. I'm just recently part of the team officially, ambassadors. My role will be to bring beautiful projects like you to the analyst pool here, so these guys can satisfy their thirst for knowledge and feel comfortable giving your product a rating. Potentially, as analysts, we can go back and change our reviews if we have reviewed you less favorably because of lack of information, which I think is probably the number one thing that is the major theme here. So hopefully we'll be able to fill some gaps for some of the analysts on board. Let's allow Rachel. Rachel, you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit? I'm sorry, we missed your introduction, and we'll get into that exciting stuff.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rachel. Previously, I worked in Gate.io as an operational manager, and then I joined Showpay Limited, and it is one of the early contributor of MVC. And we also initiate Meta ID. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Okay. So back to this. So we were just saying BRC-20, hot theme. What are your takes on it? What do you guys think about BRC-20, and how is MVC positioned to take part in that?
Okay, yeah, we believe the BRC-20 is a very interesting movement for the Bitcoin ecology. Through these protocols, we can now mine the NFT on top of Bitcoins, which is not going to happen like last year's. And this open unlimited potentials in the BTCFi or also Bitcoin ecology, if you like it. But this protocol causes the congestion issues is very obvious to the market. So how MVC is going to take place in these areas? How are we going to release the congestion issues causes to Bitcoins? We can let users. The ordinal NFT appears on the application platform level. For example, SocialFi platform, SoSam, regardless of whether the user chooses to mine their NFTs on MVC chain or BTC chains. So let me put it in a simple way. We offer user chance to mine the NFT, ordinal NFT on MVC chain or BTC chains. You heard nothing wrong. It's both chains. They have a choice whether they would like to mine on BTC and MVC. And then later, we can offer a bridge between the BRC-20 ordinal NFT and the MVC chain to make sure that user has the right, reserve the right to restore the NFT or use their NFT at whatever blockchains. So this is the keys how MVC effectively reduce the burdens caused by the ordinal protocol on BTC congestion issue, because with the assistance of MVC in upcoming future, let's say by the end of June or at the beginning of July, users can choose to store NFT or BRC on Bitcoin while use it on MFT, on MVC chains. And more importantly, even we do not offer the bridge service, even the ordinal protocols is mined on the BTC chains, the NFT can also appear on application platform levels. Yes, so users experience has no difference whether their ordinal protocol is on top of Bitcoin chain or MVC chains. This is our technical success, which we're going to release by end of this month.
All right, exciting stuff. All right. So I guess there'll be full wallet support and all that's going to go along with it, right?
Yes, of course. The wallet is, we already have a Bitternet wallet is very similar to the MetaMask wallets currently. And in the futures, more importantly, as long as the current wallets, they support Bitcoin or Dogecoins, in a technical point of view, it has no difference to support or compatible with MVC chains. It's just a matter of time. Like people say that Ledger or token products, yes, token pocket, all these wallets, yes, will have a potentials to make it compatible with MVC chains. Let me introduce a little bit more about the Ordano. What is the difference in Ordano in BTC chains and Ordano in MVC chains?
Yeah, please.
Yes, because I just mentioned the Ordano can appear on the application platform levels, and also user can mine Ordano NFT or BRC-20 on MVC chain, right? The real service we offer is actually the transaction cost is extremely low. If you choose to use your Ordano NFT or BRC-20, they are the same thing, right? Yes, it depends on how you call it. Yes, on MVC chains, and then we offer you a transaction fee is extremely low. And then the congestion issue, of course, in MVC chain, you're not going to happen. This is going to attract many more BTC users to move their Ordano usage from BTC chains to MVC chains, because in terms of user experience, they have no variance between user experience, and then they can choose to store it on BTC or MVC, use it on MVC or BTC. No limitation to them. Okay. And then the second service we offer to them, why we call ourselves can provide second layer service to BTC, is that like we have DeFi, we have smart contracts, we enable DEX exactly the same. Actually, online 2 days ago, we have a public testing for more than 3 months and internal testing for more than a year. So in terms of securities and also performance, we are very proud. We believe we are the first mover in the world for the smart contracts. I'm going to talk about later. Okay, so we offer DeFi service for Bitcoin in the futures. That's what we're going to say. Apart from the Ordano and the BRC, we offer members, we offer users to use BTC on top of MVC. I think this is also very interesting functions, and we believe that user is going to have interesting in that. Yes.
All right, that's great. I don't know how many analysts out there on our side have actually tried to mint an ordinal, but first off, it's a little confusing, but once you get the hang of it, it is not cheap. So if MVC is going to offer a cheaper solution to do that, I'm sure you're going to attract a lot of those people over, because that seems to be what I hear people complaining about, is the minting costs to get those created. Very interesting. Okay, tell a little bit. I know that we can skip over, but another one of the hot narratives, and very similar to BRC, is SRC, which is called stamps. Very similar to that. I'm sure you guys are also there. But what I want to jump to is, because you mentioned already, was the very big narrative is BTCFi or BTC Decentralized Finance. And tell a little bit how you're positioned there and what you think you can do to be one of the early players and grab some market share.
Yes, and in the previous question, we just mentioned that we're going to build a bridge between the Ordano and BRC-20 with the connections with us. And we also have decentralized ID protocols across various blockchains, including but not limited to is Ethereum and Polygons, and currently MVC. And in futures, of course, we're going to extend this to BTC. Yes, this will make the applications like you have no difference when you hold an NFT on UTXO chains or Polygon chains or Ordano or MVC. We enable you to show it under the same application platforms. I think in the BTCFi areas, we are the first mover in these areas. We allow NFT, we allow connection, we allow cross-chain informations, interactions, we allow NFT shown or user experience has no difference across various blockchains. And we believe in the BTCFi is a very new narrative. And even to EVM, because we cross chains to EVM, I think, so this is we believe we are first mover in these areas. And then we believe this enable a new areas of Web3 with unlimited potentials. Yes, because we also enable data storage, certified launchpad program like Apple iOS in the futures. And then ticketing and also micropayments and certifications. We believe, in fact, there's no limitation. What is limited is imaginations of developers.
All right, that's well put. Mark, go ahead. You want to jump in there?
Yeah, you mentioned cross-chain here. I'm not sure if I fully understand. Does it? You mean you can have a NFT move from Ethereum to MVC chain?
Cross chain is actually is two things. One is whether a user has a user experience difference, appearance. Like in a social platforms, you can show that you hold this NFT. You can show that you hold an ETH NFT. You can show that you hold a Polygon NFT under the same application platforms. You can show it to others. Yes, we already have these functions. It's an inter communication. Okay, maybe we make it simple. It's layer 0. It's similar to layer 0 service we provide. Another connection is about bridge. If you're talking about asset exchange between two blockchain, of course, we need to have an assets bridge. And then currently, we already have a BRC-20 UTXO bridge between Ethereum's and MVC chains, which the mainnet launch is just 3 days ago with the DX. What we about cross chain is two perspective. One is
okay.
One is yeah.
How about between MVC and Bitcoin? There's also no actual asset movement. You need a bridge to move assets between the two, or not?
Of course, we need.
Those are different chains.
Yes.
Some chains, and we are a layer 1 blockchain. So we need a bridge, definitely.
Okay. No, I just because Cosmos with this inter-blockchain, what is it called? The idea is that some chains can actually move assets without bridges between each other, right? But that's not the case here yet.
I think Cosmos is about various blockchains. Every single blockchain in Cosmos share the same functions. Even they have a one center, but actually the other blockchains also can serve as a center. And then they have a inter
IBC, yeah.
Yes, in the account. Yes.
Inter-blockchain connection or something it's called, yeah.
Yes, but we believe this is just a name. I think it's similar to us what we call Beta ID, cross-chain, decentralized ID. I think in technical point of view, this is a sort of layer 0. So we talk about in technology, whether they are layer 0, they are layer 1, they are layer 2. I think this is more makes sense. In communication.
No, I find this DID that you mentioned is just very interesting. Don't fully understand it yet. I did research your white paper a little bit, and I understand that you label data throughout the chain, so it makes it much easier to find, right? So I think I understand that part. But Dan actually explained to me that there is an additional kind of DID, something that makes you connect assets across chains. I'm sorry, I don't fully understand it. That's why I'm asking.
Okay, maybe I go a little bit further about the decentralized DID. Yes, we believe that we are also the first mover, and so we better explain it in depth. Yes, as compared to our competitors, maybe Williams, like they have their DID functions, but it's only in their blockchains. To us, we enable cross-chain interoperability, what is so-called. We focus on achieving the seamlessly integrations between UTXO models. What is Ordinal, BRC-20, BTC, or the SRC-20, is it? Of course, we haven't cross-chained to SRC, BRC-20, Ordinal, but we are going to achieve all this, not SRC, sorry, not SRC. SRC is future topic. It's BRC-20 and Ordinal, maybe by end of next month. Okay, and then second, we have already successfully achieved cross-chain to Ethereum and Polygon. And in our platforms, you can, maybe Rachel later can show them that like you have NFT or you have ENS, your domain, you have a domain at Ethereum, you can show it on social platforms. Yes, with the same function as MVC NFT and MVC domain. Okay. Second, we enable a united fee-like data structure across many chains. We overcome a constant storage limitations for efficient data transfer. I think the constant interoperability, including the constant storage limitations. In futures, if we constrain to AR, because of the Beta ID protocols, the AR, the data stored at AR can appear at the social file platforms. This will enhance us the connections with various blockchains. This is also how we can offer the service to users.
And actually, Meta ID is the decentralized ID that you own an ID, then you can connect this your unique ID with different kinds of applications. Then all the data is stored at MVC. And so if you are an Ethereum user, you can log in with your MetaMask. And then it will generate Meta ID on MVC. Then you can track all your data, your transactions, your NFT storage, all the assets. You can find it on a wallet on MVC. Yeah, that's the principle.
And
Okay.
what is people like what is the same to other competitors? They offer decentralized ID is user can control their own data, can determine the access permissions of the applications. Yes, this is the same to other decentralized ID solutions.
Yeah, if one application fails, you can restore all your data on another application.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
It sounds like you guys, I think there's a lack of knowledge about this decentralized ID that's out there, and it sounds like it's pretty powerful. And I know one of the advantages of MVC is that you guys have it built in natively versus it being a layer on top of your blockchain. I think we're probably just not wrapping our heads around how this helps with interoperability to have this ID. But essentially that ID provides a visibility to the other blockchains for the assets, if I understand correctly. Did you want to jump in and ask something here on the DID or something we just talked about?
Yeah, you can talk about the SRC-20 as well if you guys are interested. This is a fairly new topics. Like we would believe it's going to be a very funny movements apart from the BRC-20s. And here we have SRC-20, right? We saw it. The main differences between the SRC-20 and the BRC-20 is that they cannot be deleted. I think this is the main selling point of them. Right. And what they call a BTC stamps. BTC stamp is like they can store it on a simplest transaction output. And then because the Bitcoin full launch have no choice to save it, so they can't delete it. And this is difference to the Ordinal protocol, where the full launch can choose to disregard the data. So if users are afraid that all of a sudden their data will be disappears, will be limited by the core developer of Bitcoins, they might have to change it to use it SRC-20. And that is the reasons why there's a huge currently appears in the SRC-20s. And after I go deep with our technical members, I'll tell you how we're going to take place is very similar to Ordinal and BRC-20 because we have same structures to Bitcoin. So in terms of if we're talking about compatibilities, it is not a big issue for MVC to adopt SRC-20 in the futures. It is just about development progress. It's just about whether there's real demand for SRC-20. MVC can easily make it compatible with SRC-20 in a month. It depends on development progress and real demand, whether there is. Yes.
Yeah, and MVC can be a great supplement of the SRC-20 because I saw it can only store a small amount of data, but on MVC you can store all the data. You can store a piece of music or even a video. We have proof that it worked. We just cut one single video into pieces and then upload it on the blockchain.
Patrick, I'm gonna let you jump in, but just on this note, that was one of the questions I wanted to ask you. So I saw that you guys equate one space to about 100 megabytes of storage on your network. So that would mean that people can store pictures, they can store videos, whatever they want permanently on the blockchain, unmutable, it can never be changed or taken off, all for a very affordable price compared to some other chains like Arway or some of the other data storage chains. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Patrick, did you want to jump in?
Sure. I wanted to a little bit come back on the cross-chain aspect. Like I'm trying to imagine, I have a token with some custom functionality. I don't know if you're familiar with Ample Fort, but there's code that rebalance the supply as the price is moving. Then let's say that I create a token like this on MVC, then I move it onto the Bitcoin network. All the functionality will not transfer over. It will be just the asset itself, but without the functionality.
Yeah, actually, there's two ways the connection between MVC and a BRC-20 or what you so-called Bitcoin. As I said, is asset perspective. The first is asset perspective. If you have assets on BRC-20, if you do not make it transfer to MVC, of course, you cannot use it. You cannot have a transaction, have an exchange using this asset in under the MVC network. This is one point. If you want to have your BRC-20 on top of BTC to have a movement, a real movement with other asset on top of MVC chain, you need to full the bridge. This is one thing. The second connection, what we so-called is layer 0, is through the meter ID protocols. Why we are first mover and why our competitor cannot do it is because in terms of the decentralized ID or layer 0's concept, in the UTXO model, we are first mover. Layer 0 or decentralized ID is not a new topic in Ethereum, in Polygon, in all the other public blockchains, but in UTXO areas, this is first mover. But the service we provide is very similar to Polygons. And that's why we always say that, how are we going to make our second layer service to BTC? People can always refer to how Polygons can do for Bitcoins. We are very similar. We cannot say that 100%, but we can guarantee that 90% to 90%, 95% very similar service can be offered to Bitcoins as Polygons to Ethereum.
Yeah, I don't think that was my question, but maybe I got confused. What I'm saying is that let's say that you have functionality on your code that runs on MVC, but then you push it through the bridge to go to BTC. Now, all the functionality will, because there's no smart contract capability on BTC, so it will be an inert digital asset without functionality.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say that you have a tax system or burning or minting mechanism on your token. All of that is not going to function, right?
Yeah, it's not going to function on top of a BTC chain because BTC do not have a smart contract. Yes, we are second layer service.
Okay.
Okay,
perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's take a step back, guys. So we talked about what you're capable of doing, but let's talk a little bit about what you are. You guys are a proof of work consensus. You want to tell a little bit why you chose proof of work and decided to model Bitcoin?
If you talk about POW, we need to make a short comparison between a POW and POS, right? The advantages of a POW over POS is that if miners simply holds a large proportions of MVC hash powers, they are still in a fair competitions environment and do not have a monopoly advantages based on the first mover or scale advantages, what is so-called. They are still in equal competitions from other miners at every single moment, which is not the case of POS. POS has monopoly advantages, first mover advantages. Once you have coins, you are going to king. If you are the king, you will always be the kings because the release and emission schedule is depends on how many coins you have. So POS is more like a joystick company, whereas later miners need to pay higher costs for proportional mining wise compared to early miners. The major concerns we have is about whether security fees from US is a problem in the futures, like Ethereum. Maybe they will consider it as a security, or maybe Ethereum do not consider as a security. How about other blockchains? Will this be problems in the futures? We don't know. This is one of the major concerns about the POS. And another one is about decentralization. Decentralization, we believe, is a mechanism rather than a specific quantity shares by everyone. We believe POW is more decentralized because it's permissionless, like everyone can join it. But in POS, like is the more token you have, the more and more token you have in futures. This is unfair. This is a monopoly. That's from our point of views. And then in terms of transparency, POW mining is a public process that allows everyone to participate and earn rewards during the mining process. Whereas in POS is you have coins and then you will have more coins. This is a different practice. In MVC, POS is about people buying the old coin, which is already generated. POW is about everyone paying energy. You can also say money to the new coins. This is very different. But we understand that POS might be more energy efficient as compared to a POS. They do not require a high amount of computing powers and energy consumptions. Yes. But so...
I was saying, I think it's very smart from an SEC perspective. We talk a lot about this with other projects that seem to completely ignore that or blatantly are selling securities. So it's very smart to have only mined tokens on the market. That way you can completely avoid that conversation in the future. I think that's a great move. You want to tell us a little bit about why you chose your UTXO model?
Yeah, exactly. UTXO model is actually one of the major selling point of us, and why do we choose the account model? And then I think we need to go a little bit about why don't we choose account models. In the real world, in practice, actually many public blockchain, they choose account models. Why don't we choose it? The main problems in account model is that they are not able to scale in concept in the long run.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah, give you an example, Ethereum's. The account model is very easy to understand. It's like everyone bank accounts and so on. It's a way of thinking like each one have one or more accounts, and each account has a balance. So every time you make a transfer, it's like from A to B, you need to wait several confirmations, the odd times before you can go forwards. In a dynamic environment, we are talking about millions or billions of users. It is difficult for all nodes to maintain the consistency of receiving transaction, especially in high frequency trading scenarios like micropayment or AI in the futures. So in terms of micropayment, AI service, or high frequency trading scenarios, dynamic economies in the futures, we believe account models cannot cater in this area, no matter how great or the way how we improve it, because this is just not able to scale in a concept. This is inherent problems we see from account model is from the beginning. So how do we solve these problems? And we see the opportunity in UTXO model. Let me have a brief introduction to UTXO model, and then we're going to cater how we're going to take advantages of both UTXO model and account model in MVC. Okay, UTXO model is another model adopted by mainstream blockchain like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin, and MVC, what we're going to introduce today. UTXO is like unspent transaction outputs. This model, as compared to account model, is very similar to cash or digital cash, if you like, in the blockchain world. In account model, is like they are bank account. In UTXO model, we're cash, we're handling. The blockchain does not actually record or maintain the balance of each account, but record which account has a bank note belongs to it. In the Bitcoin scenarios, the balance of account A cannot be directly be searched. It is necessary to count how many bank notes belongs to A. Yes. This nature will enable UTXO model have a high concurrency in natures, because we don't have to waste the balance from the previous account. This is the case in account model. We don't have to confirm how many tokens or how many balance you have in your previous account or from account A to account B. We don't have to waste that. So UTXO has a high concurrency nature from the baby stage, from the beginning. This is not the case in account model. But account model also has lots of advantages we find, and that's the reasons why people love it. So how do we cater that? How do we take the advantages of both UTXO model, the concurrency natures, and also the account models? Very clear usage advantages is we introduce BitID, the decentralized cross-chain DID protocols. With the decentralized DID protocols, we can summarize the natures or advantages of all account models. While our body is UTXO, you can consider that our body is UTXO. Decentralized DID is just like a clothes. It's just like where we wear clothes. If we wear sporty clothes, it's just like we use it in MVC chains. If we wear t-shirts, it's like we have another clothes. We have connection with Ethereum. It's just like that. By the combination of both, we take all the advantages of the two models and able to avoid the limitations of account models.
Mark, you want to jump in here with a question?
Yeah, thank you. So sorry to be disconnected from what you just said now, but I'm very interested in the actual how the scaling actually works, because so from what I understand, Bitcoin has the problem that they can only produce a block every 10 minutes, and the block has a limited amount of transactions it can take, so it's very slow. I know Cospa, which is a little bit similar to your chain because it's also proof of work, and they found a way to do multiple blocks per second because they don't have to wait for all the blocks to go through the entire system. So I read a little bit about super nodes in your white paper, but I can't fully understand how you achieve bigger scale exactly. Is it possible to explain?
Okay, yes. Okay, so this is actually breakdowns to two topics. It's about the nonce and how we're gonna reach the unlimited scalability. Why we are different to a Bitcoin. This cover a few areas. If I have to answer your question, so I need to break down to three part. Okay, let me go to the non-differences. The operation is in Bitcoin or in ETH. Every nonce has to compute every single transactions, leading to thousands of computers doing the job that a single centralized service can do. Yes, and in MVC, we also every node has to compute every transaction. In MVC, we believe to enable a large-scale adoption of blockchain as a service in the long run, it is necessary for us to minimize the cost and time of using it for our general users. We believe general users do not have to download everything, do not have to compute every single transactions before they can see their balance, they can use their balance, or they have to wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes. We don't think this is necessary, and because this is time and cost. So we enable what is so-called simple payment verification technologies. After we enable these technologies, only miners and application platforms has to operate the full nodes. User is not necessary to operate the full node. Sorry, it's node, N-O-D, a node. Yes. So this is one difference to BTC and ETH.
Can I ask it? So how does the user then verify how does the user make sure that the user, it's a light client basically, right? The light client connects to a node and gets the information from that node.
Yeah.
Exactly. Lightweight.
Normally you have things like zero knowledge proofs and stuff like that can enable these light clients to verify the data they get from a node. But let's say I connect to a node and I ask node, how much money does this guy have and can I buy or send money, right? How do I know that the node has is giving me the correct information? Because that's why normally you have to download all the information.
As what I mentioned previously, the logic between the account model and the UTXO model is different. Account model, they have a balance concept. In UTXO model, we don't have a balance concept. What we call is unspent transactions. We don't call it a balance. Your balance in UTXO model, let's say someone transfer you $5, $10, and $20. You have $35, right? This is account model is one account, you have $35. But in UTXO model, in fact, you actually have 3 unspent transaction, which is 5, 10, and 20. So it's actually the same. Your balance is 35, but the concept in UTXO model is unspent transaction. How many unspent transactions you have? In account model is how many balance in total you have. So the nonce only have to calculate, have to understand that, oh, you have how many transactions unspent. They don't have to calculate the balance. This is one very major logic difference between account model and UTXO model. Second thing is that we enable a zero confirmation technology. Member actually don't have to wait the blockchains, the block types, the confirmation types, which is a difference to ETH and BTC. Transaction can go through instantly. This technology is not new to it's being tested for many years. Some of our competitors also apply this technology, maybe Radiance and also a BCH for your examples, and also at NEXS. These few competitors share the same technology with us, what we call zero confirmation technology. It's a technology enable UTXO models transaction can go through instantly. What we call instantly is as far as your internet speed, less than 0.1 second. How we are different to Bitcoins? Because we say that we are same structures, then how can we solve the scalability issue and then Bitcoin can't? What are our differences? Is first is about the node. Bitcoin has many, they have more than 10,000, whereas in MVCK in the futures you're gonna have hundreds or thousands or a few thousand. That's the case. In Bitcoins, people aims to have millions people have a node, but in MVC point of view, it's not like bank accounts for a public audit. We only need a few hundreds or up to a few thousands public auditor. We believe it's already enough in terms of security. We don't need everyone to go through the bank account to ensure that, oh, this is right, this is not fake. We believe this is not necessary. However, That's why our design is to reduce the nonce, ensure the high concurrency, ensure the transactions can go through less nonce, and that is the reasons why our transaction is much faster and also enable the zero confirmation technology. Second point is we enable a break broad. This technology also is not new to the world. It's not our technical success. Is exactly the same to a BCH concept. Yeah, and also NEXS and also Radiance. They also use the same mechanism as us. We use a break broad and simply like increase the GB as long as there's more demand, and then we just increase it. In terms of security, we can see in the BCH, they have many years and no one breaks through their networks. So we believe the security is guaranteed and is being challenged by the market for many years already. And this is the scalability. And why we're different to Bitcoin, as I said, the node, they focus on the node is everyone must have a node. We focus on that node is about more than hundreds, more than a few hundreds, and then more than thousands. I think we think it's already enough. Yes, they think that this is decentralization has to be maximized in BTC. Yes, we subsidize some decentralizations to have node to around a few hundreds to a few thousands. However, what gives to us is high concurrency, is transactions that go through instantly, and also we enable smart contract functions. Yes.
All right, listen, we're going to have about 5 minutes left before this call is going to end. Yeah, in the last 5 minutes, I don't know if there's anything. Rachel, you didn't get a chance to share too much. If you wanted to add anything here in the last few minutes.
I think Jason has said really great, shared some great stuff, and this is basically all I want to say. Yeah.
Okay. In closing, what I'd like to share with you guys is that something from the community, that some of the documentation that's out there feels like there's some gaps. And I know that you've seen in your Telegram, people are saying that the website and maybe some of the way the copy is out there is a little confusing. There's one comment out there about, where did I see it? Bringing in this next wave of people to where they might not even need to own cryptocurrency to use this. So I guess I just put this out to you. That was a common theme with our analyst as well, that we love to dive into projects, but these guys had a hard time on our team diving in, taking a bite of this project because there was some gaps out there. So I'm just wondering what plans do you have to tighten that up or to revise that stuff?
Actually, you're very wise in terms of the organizations and all the structures of our contents or knowledge is actually not good enough.
Yeah.
And because we are new projects, we are just like 3.5 months ago, not even 4 months. So this will be steadily growth, steadily improve. We highly appreciate the comment and improvement advice in terms of, let's say, white paper and technical informations. We actually have a VG functions or VG information CDO gift book. You can share it. We actually save all the information or knowledge in orders, of course in sequence, and also it's not very organized. And also you see that it's wording issues because we are not English speakers. But this will all have a steadily improve because we are new projects. Hope that you guys can understand, and I highly appreciate you guys can offer us help if you find any wording errors. If you find that any error we have, yeah, feel free to let us know. We understand this is in terms of professionalism, and every single detail matters in our perspective. It's just we are new projects. Yeah.
All right. And I promised you guys that I would put at the end of this video a little plug for your Binance Live that you guys are going to be doing. Congratulations. That is Wednesday, May 31st at 2 p.m. or 0 UTC. And I'm sure I will be there for sure. I'm sure some of us will be. And I know we had a lot of questions we didn't get to today, but hopefully we can address them. And we offer you guys the opportunity to come engage with our analyst on our site. Okay. Thank you guys for joining us today and letting us talk to you and learning a little bit about your blockchain. And we wish you great success.
Thanks a lot.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time, and yes, and the analysis report to us. Feel free to ask us any questions like after the videos, and yes, and we are ready to answer any questions. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.